Last year at this time, Elijah Griffin was a 5-star recruit. Now he's a Georgia Bulldog. Spring practice underway. Rusty, what are you hearing about freshman Elijah Griffin?
Well, I can be short and sweet, or I can give you some fluff. Which one do you want? I mean, the dude is
I want
legit.
the juice.
He's legit. I mean, he is. You know, when you ask people in the building and they don't really want to say it, but you go, hey, man, how's Elijah Griffin doing? And they all go, They give you that, Yeah, he's doing what everybody thought he would. You know, Warren Brinson made the comment this week. He thought he was the next Jalen Carter. Pretty strong. Both of those kids are from the Savannah area. Warren, obviously getting ready for the NFL Combine, knows Elijah really well. And I think Elijah Griffin comes in with a lot of hype. I think Elijah Griffin comes in with a lot of expectations. I know how he's wired. It's not going to affect him. But I can tell you, from the moment he got to campus until the time we're filming this, he's done nothing to slow that momentum down.
All right, Georgia Bulldog fans, do me a favor real quick. Hit that subscribe button for me. We got Rusty Mansell here from Dawgs HQ. I want to know more about some of these early enrollees. I mean, we were covering them as recruits this time last year, so it's really interesting. Yep. They're already putting the pads on right now in Athens, so we're getting a little bit more of a feel for who's standing out. What are you hearing about some of these true freshmen early enrollees?
Well, you know, you're a week into it, and this weekend they had their first padded practice. Some of those kids went through the bowl practice for a couple of days, so you got to kind of take this with a grain of salt. But the name that keeps popping up, and I think people kind of forgot about him, and in fact, if you're not a Georgia Bulldog fan, you may not even know him yet. Running back Bo Walker, who was at Cedar Grove High School, they had a coaching change. He made a move. He got ruled ineligible. He went through several appeals in the state of Georgia last year. He lost them all. Well, eventually, about midway through the season, he ended up at Rabun Gap High School, kind of got out of shape a little bit. He finished up his senior year, played as much as he can, but he came to Georgia in late December. And I'm telling you right now, Josh, I don't know if there's more buzz around a player right now after 1 week as a freshman than running back Bo Walker. And they couldn't come at a better time for Georgia. You know, losing Trevor Etienne there late to his decision. Right. I think Georgia – you know, listen, we're a week into it, and he's had a couple practices, but everybody I talked to down there in Athens and listening to people talk about Bo Walker, he's done nothing to disappoint the Georgia Bulldog coaching staff.
What's the latest on those freshman wide receiver, namely Talon Taylor and C.J. Wiley?
Yeah, come in with a lot of hype, man, and those two kids are kind of, you know, they're both really quiet kids, you know what I mean? Lead by example type. You know, I'll do my speaking with my pads and my play, and it is early, but both of those kids are making plays. I think C.J. Wiley scored a touchdown yesterday at a practice. I think Talon Taylor has probably gained the most kind of, I would say, buzz from the time he got there. This is a kid who was a 5-star, the first 5-star wide receiver commit and signee for Georgia since George Pickens, so a lot to live up to there. Landon Roldan is a kid. I won't say I found him. I just happened to be somewhere he was at last year around this time. Nobody really knew who he was. I had a camp in Atlanta. He runs a 4.4. They called me over there to the 40 lane and said, hey, this kid just ran 4.4. I was like, let me see this. Let me watch. I'll make him run it over again. He comes right back and runs 4.4. A month later, this kid at North Oconee High School has picked up 6, 7, 8 offers, winds up committing to Georgia. He's wearing number 84. He gets a lot of comparisons to Ladd McConkey. I think he knows by putting on number 84, there's going to be expectations. There's a lot to live up to. But I'm telling you now, Landon Roldan's a kid kind of flying under the radar. He's stacked some really good practices. We're early with those guys, but that wide receiver room, especially the two guys I would say, you know, the quote unquote headliners, and C.J. Wiley and Talon Taylor, they've certainly lived up to it.
Yeah, a lot for Dog fans to be fired up about in this coming class. Now, since I got you here, I got to ask you, number 1 quarterback, Jared Curtis, he just wrapped up his Georgia visit. He was at Oregon prior to that. So in my eyes, I think the next 2 to 3 weeks could be the window when he commits. Coming off this Georgia visit, Rusty, what's your gut say on Jared Curtis and the Dogs? Inside Scoop listeners, I got to tell you about a company that makes this show possible. It's Rhoback Activewear. The only way to describe Rhoback is best fit, best feel. And for those who are not familiar with Rhoback, they are completely changing the game with their incredibly comfortable activewear. Rhoback has released so many items within their new licensed game day collection, and it's our favorite. With novel polo designs, clean hoodie, and quarter zip designs from some of your favorite schools, It's definitely worth checking out. Nobody else in the market is pairing these level of custom designs with this quality of activewear. Roback's everyday shorts or their Delta Performance pants are the perfect pairing as well. They are both super comfortable. They have an elastic waistband and a great fabric that is made to have the appearance of a nice short look, but the comfort for everyday movement. Roback also has been proudly leading the NIL charge, having signed partnerships with multiple college football stars, past and present, and are becoming the go-to brand for college athletes across the country. So use code JOSH on roback.com for a generous 20% off all new custom orders through the end of this week. Let's spell it out for you. RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all performance polos, shorts, and more with promo code JOSH.
Yeah, I told you we filmed something about a month ago, and I said, there's no way this is going to make it to June. Yeah. And then like 2 hours later, it popped up. He said he's going to take 2 unofficials. Then he goes back to back on his spring break. I don't think he goes much longer than a month, in my opinion. This is not one of those things from 10 years ago where you sit in a coach's office, your mom gets a feel, you get a feel, then you commit to a school. This is new age recruiting. There's agents involved. There's representatives involved. There's rev share involved. There's a lot of decisions that go into this. And I do think Georgia having him on campus almost 4 days. That's as good an opportunity as you can want if you're Mike Bobo and Kirby Smart and those guys. I do know the location for his family is something they really like about Georgia. I know they were impressed with Oregon when we went out there. They rolled out the red carpet. Look, man, you're going to hear a lot of stuff over the next couple of weeks about where this kid might be leaning, where he might not be leaning. I'm not sure as we film this right now, but I do know that Georgia feels like this visit went well for them. Mm-hmm. We're going to find out sooner or later how well it went.
Dog fans, talk to us. How are you feeling about number 1 quarterback Jared Curtis? Will he be a dog or a duck? Let us know in the comments section.